Так. Okay, так, now sound fixed. Так. Так, окей. Так, let's break again here.
Madness. This is
Jane Bond art.
Okay, so perspective of GTA 6. Так, so let's break down trailer frames. Так. So you see what is convenient. You choose visual narrative form you want to draw in. So it's like you want to draw storyboards, or you want to draw comic books or illustration. So break down their composition, break down what type of perspective they use, like exactly for each frame, for each picture. So you kind of create your own library from favorite work, okay, and break it down, so understand elements, how they made their work. And when you study perspective, right, choose this proper approach. It's like, you know, everybody spends so much time without this, and if you start from this, it will save you a lot of time. So once you learn very basics of perspective, right, so you understand what is XYZ, you understand what is perspective grid, you're ready to learn from final works. You need to look how they use perspective in their final work, from your favorite work, okay? And there it's like, say, like professional level work. So it might be like, you know, just some professional quality work, like a movie, for example, right? So you look there, and it's kind of typical tropes, some like typical, it's like a vocabulary. You know, you don't need to reinvent bicycle. You better just decipher language and vocabulary they use in their work. So here, let's say, like decipher visual language from GTA trailer, and specifically like what is perspective here. So we have this first let's first scene is like exposition, right? So it's showing us from a helicopter or bird view. Here it's isometry, so we have down shot, isometry is like long lens. I will draw you right now. This is kind of low camera, almost on the ground. So you can see it's like a horizon line. Where is horizon line? It's about this level. Okay. So it's telling us, you can see where horizon line touch these objects on in a picture, right? It's showing you camera height. Okay, so if horizon line kind of intersects vehicle on this height, so you can see now, like compared to this vehicle, how high is camera. So it's like one wheel high, if we can take like this wheel for measurement. So then we have again down shot, but this time it's not helicopter view, it's like POV from main character, from this guy. And this POV point of view kind of have perspective of security camera. So it's like 45-degree angle looking down. Like if camera in the corner, you know, like they usually in the wall corner, so it's like angle down about 45 degree. And then it's like POV from this guy on the ground, but it's now POV up. So it's like kind of 3-point perspective looking up. Then it's like about like shoulder level camera angle, and again up shot, kind of POV. And then we have this like down shot. So we have like up shot, down shot, up shot, down shot. Yeah, I have video talking about composition for storytelling, for like sequence. And I also talking about this, like when it's like characters communication, sometimes can be like one character is higher, one character is lower, and they on one picture you show them standing next to each other. So this guy very tall, right? And then you show POV. When camera looking down, we know it's a POV of tall guy. When camera looking up, it's like POV of a short guy. So and here's like they show us one guy on the ground, one guy on the second floor. So when we looking up, it's kind of like from perspective of guy on the ground. From when looking down, kind of it's like perspective from guy on the second floor, so looking down to this guy. So it's kind of like dialogue, like almost sometimes it's directly POV, sometimes it's just like showing direction. So we're looking from kind of perspective of this guy. So then we have this like waist level, so we see horizon line about here. Then again down shot, so it's like different perspective grids, different perspective for this. And once you break it down, you will able to redraw, to recreate similar picture but with your content. So let's see, this is like isometry. So, and this you see also important, like, you know, people talking about like, oh, is this important to draw every day, how much I should draw? It's not just about drawing, it's also about what you draw, like what problem you're solving, or what technique you're training, right? So, and this analysis I show, right? I draw not only to show you, I also show you what you should draw to learn perspective. So it's your next step from drawing boxes in vanishing points, you know. It's like you learn this like 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, then you draw in boxes, and then you don't know what to draw next, how to get to practical application kind of, so you can implement in your work to create something, right? So if you make this breakdown, so like drawing over reference, like make second layer and draw over reference, you draw perspective grid, which means grid you draw in all these lines. It's I see sometimes, you know, say like, oh yeah, I draw in grid, and they draw like 3 line, 2 line. It's like, say, guy, like, can you draw like a whole picture with the axis lines, like just draw XYZ? Just like, what the hell is it? Is this difficult? Attack. So let's say here on this picture is like, it's almost like isometry, but it's actually like 2-point perspective, because we have horizon line. Так. Let me also maybe here show you. So here it's also like a very simple principle about wide lens and long lens, right? So, you know, people say fisheye, fisheye. So fisheye is about like you showing very wide range of your field of vision, right? So normally we see clear is very narrow area. We see like blur about like 100, close to 180 if talking wide, but much less vertically. And so fisheye is taking like more than 180, like make it it's clear, like kind of if you look in the camera. So it means like with a wide lens you can show something very close to you, right? So something here, if I use a long lens, so from a small area of vision here, hand will block whole view. But if I use wide lens, I will see is like top, bottom, left and right, and it will create this like strong kind of, you know, extreme perspective, strong distortion. So it's very easy to show. So it's like when we have vanishing points closer to each other in perspective grid, let's say here, so you have like wider lens. Let's say just a linear perspective. Let's just 2-point perspective. It don't need to be like 5-point or something, you know. So this is more like, yeah, let's draw. So you see, so like if you draw a car here, it has this like dynamic extreme perspective. So it's like a wide lens. When vanishing points, VP, closer to each other. And if we have vanishing points far away from each other, like farther we have, so eventually it became isometry, because you see vanishing points so far, so we don't even see convergence of axes. So x vanishing point, or z, this case is z. Z vanishing point so far away, so we don't see any conversion. But if it's not so far away, let's say like this, we see conversion. So it's like you see this z-axis showing towards the vanishing point. So it's somewhere like on a horizon line, somewhere here. But I don't need to know exactly where it is. I just showing with this line towards this vanishing point. And then I have a horizon line, which is also the axis. So this showing direction, and then I draw in between, right? So it's also showing direction to this. And same with x. Also x very far outside the frame, and they like very far from each other. So you see, let's say like this. So this is like long lens perspective. When we have like very little conversion or almost zero conversion over axis. So let's add y. Okay, online. Так. So practicing with this, when you try this different type of perspective, so which means you really draw it. Okay, so this what you should do, you must draw it, and this kind of studies count in hundreds. Okay, so you want to remember this perspective grid types. Draw about 100 pictures with this perspective grids. So then it will become like part of your nature, and it's very easy to draw. Very easy. It's just, you know, just do it. Just do it. Let's see, like don't need any motivation, anything. You just must do it, and when you start, you see how easy it is. Так, so here on this picture we definitely see, so we don't have like conversion y axis here. Camera very far, so y axis not conversion. Even if it's down shot, but y axis here just parallel, kind of like in Akira, right? Or like in Akira when this was motorcycles in perspective. Так, so and horizon line. Так. Let's see. So it's x and this z again. So horizon line is z. Draw in between z, right? So z, z, z. So then let's put composition. main shapes. Also, you might, as kind of question often people have. Okay, so it's like main shape. It's let's say like here we have many buildings, so it's like one building here, then building here, building here, a lot of small building like here and there, and they rotated according to each other. And you think like, okay, so XYZ related to one box, right? So to one building. But I have so many objects rotated in different direction. So I should, how many XYZ should I draw to my perspective grid? So what I do like usually, you might like draw absolutely random XYZ. So only like related to horizon line, right? So you can make just like 1 point perspective here, for example. Or what I did right now, I choose one building. So I choose this building and I draw perspective grid for this building because it's also match with this kind of beach, or like how to say, shoreline, right? So then other buildings, they have same y-axis with this building but different angles, so I kind of like draw them like kind of like rotating like a cube. So let's say if you have cube here, so and draw near this cube another cube, so they all share same y-axis. Okay, what also they share, it's degree of convergence. So they, all these three cubes, they have like very little convergence of their XYZ. So zero convergence for y, they just share same y. But even when I rotate, so you see here like this conversion, right? So if I draw another building with different angle, only what I do is I snap the second building to same y-axis, and I make sure it have similar degree of convergence. So which means like if I draw like this box, let's say, you see if I draw it like stronger conversion, it just will be like in a different perspective. So they don't look like sitting on the same ground anymore. So this box can be like this if it's closer to camera. So it might be closer to camera, but also kind of it's not, still it will be not fit to this type of perspective because it will be like different lens, right? So here I just don't have this level of distortion. So closest here will be like this. So realistically I just can't draw this degree of distortion within this perspective grid. So just wrestle with these two principles, same y-axis and degree of convergence, right? So sides, they're almost we almost don't see change inside. So this y, like 1, let's say 1, right? And here b is like 0, 9, 9, you know, so it's like almost same, almost no conversion. So, and I just keep it for every box. If I make like 1 and 0.8, it's already different perspective. Hello pentagraphite, hello something gases. Hello something. I'm okay in drawing and I'm science student. What do you mean civil field? Like, can you like ask again, but use like rephrase? What do you mean good for you? It's like, is this good for you? So, and I have like other building here, and let's say for experiment I can make this building have z vanishing point on a horizon line, so it's like have its own z vanishing point, same y-axis as other buildings. So it's kind of like you see here we still have same degree of convergence, but we have here stronger convergence because vanishing point on the horizon line, so it still works. So it's kind of basic operation with rotation objects, but you know, you can, instead of stuck too much on exercises, you can do this kind of practice while you drawing pictures, you know, so you kind of really, and why I choosing like a GTA or some other artists, like I have about 40 videos breaking down master works of other artists, is because it's kind of like how to trick your brain to learn. It's kind of more interesting to learn, you know, and it's kind of like, it's really a great solution. It solves a lot of problems, and it's like you doing this essential studies, like practice with drawing rotations, all these very basic manipulations, while you also learning a lot about your favorite artist style, about visual storytelling. It's like incredible. It's like, you know, hitting like 100 Angry Birds with one stone. This kind of like approach you should choose, you know, instead of stuck with this like, oh, let's draw like straight lines, let's draw like circles. Yeah, you can stuck for this forever, and like it's not very helpful if you want to draw illustrations, right? Let's see some more questions. I know it's like I don't know why ask me about is it good idea to study civil field, because I don't even know what is civic science. I'm not a native English speaker. You know? What's this civic science? You mean like humanitarian? It's like philosophy, or what? What is that? Civic science. Like I'm not person to ask this kind of stuff. Kind of like ask your parents, you know, like I don't know why ask some random guy on the internet. Так. So then like now I'm doing this thing as like matching both worlds, 2D and 3D. So 3D is this like properties of 3D space. So I have in mind behavior of X and Z. And let me double check what's that. It's crazy, so many information. And also I considering all these shapes. So for them like shapes of building, shapes of foliage, like trees and grass and stuff. Так. So it's some kind of like architect, civil engineer. Yeah, so yeah, you see, it's kind of question is no, it's kind of question nobody can answer for you, from my opinion, you know. So like when I was like 10-year-old, like people tell me what is good for me and stuff, but once I like 18-year-old, I realized nobody can know for sure, or at least like, you know, if I have like some friends like billionaires who when I was like 18 around, and they will say like, oh, you know, I know some civic engineers and I meet them, and these civic engineers like tell me like, you know, Gene, you have potential, we see civic engineer in you. So maybe you can ask this question from civic engineer, like who can say you have potential or not. You know, like for example, like in the sport, my friend, sport master in how's it called, like a sport gymnastics, like you know, women jumping with ribbon. So they have this ribbon and like jumping on Olympic Games. So and she says she was like, when she was in kindergarten, like 4-year-old, about this. This sport master, gymnastic coach, she visited kindergarten, she looking at children, and she say, okay, this girl, we can train her and she will be sport master in gymnastic, you know. So this kind of level professional people, yes, they can recognize in young people, they can see potential, right? Sometimes it happens, right? You just need to make sure is a real master, is real people from professional field. So you kind of, some people just don't have such people around. This like professional, serious people. You need to find this environment. And also if you don't know how to distinct professional from fraud, it might be fraud, it can be some crazy people telling you nonsense, like some psychopath, like playing super expert and telling you what you should do in your life, you know. So all this is complex, and no matter like which people you meet, no matter what people telling you, when you like 18 plus, all decisions is your responsibility. So, and it's complicated for sure, and it's not only for you, it's always for everyone, because if you make your own decisions at a young age, you don't have life experience to know is the right decision. This is kind of complexity, like how do you know exactly? So you're reading books, you're watching some workshops, like reading like autobiographies of different people, compare yourself to them and say like, is this kind of life path I want to go? But still, like whatever you imagine to yourself, whatever kind of story you will tell yourself, like is what happened in your life if you will do this or if you will choose this path, is on this stage, it's just your imagination, right? It's just like you believe this might happen, you try to make it real, and nobody know, and you can't know, nobody can know. No, somebody can, but usually you don't know. You don't know exactly, right? Like who know, who don't know, and stuff. So, and you need to go and try. You always have this risk of making wrong decision. This kind of reality. And again, like if you're looking for this case when some super professional person will look at you and will say, okay, you perfect, you have potential to become this kind of guy, like civic engineer or artist and stuff, right? For him to see your potential, he need to see you in real life, right? Like he need to see you in action. He need like this Olympic coach, like coach woman who see like children can say like they're good for gymnastic or not. No, I guess she was looking like how they move, how they jumping and stuff, some kind of bone structure and stuff. And you asking me like this question, I only see text on my screen, right? Like I don't know who you are. Like who are you? You're girl, boy, like you're 10-year-old or 40-year-old. Have no idea, you know. What? How can I know? Like what is good for you? This don't make any sense. So no, I mean, I can only like. It sounds like 12-year-old question kind of. So only what I can guess. So cool, so many buildings here. If object have its own vanishing point, you can call it whatever you want. You know, probably somewhere it's called reference vanishing point, but I think it's not important, you know. Sometimes people like invent their own terms. Like right now on YouTube somebody says like it's like perfect vanishing point, or this is a structural vanishing point, or whatever, you know. You just need to understand this principle, and don't clutter your mind with all this unnecessary kind of terminology and all the stuff. Once you understand practice, you should focus on practice. Because especially, like, why I saying this, because especially it's common trap with perspective. Like, people like it's kind of like a mind glitch, you know. Everybody's stuck, they're like afraid and lazy about perspective, and then suddenly they're like extremely like became extremely like trying to be like a scientist, kind of like I will understand all perspective, I will learn all perspective principles, I want to understand how to draw everything, all mathematics behind perspective and stuff. And they start to create some like schizophrenic concepts, like drawing some weird grids. And you know, everybody has this stage, kind of this crazy schizo perspective investigations, and this leads nowhere. It's just like only can exhaust you, and after it's just like, the hell am I doing? I'm just like waste so much time for like trying to figure out how to draw like perspective of this like interdimensional space, and like how to draw, I don't know, like 5D perspective with the 27 vanishing points stuff. So just basic, I mean, it's all basic perspective. It's a perspective grid with the 3 axes first, right? And then, okay, if you have some object which require extra vanishing point, it's just vanishing point, kind of like, you know, like this building is like 1 point perspective. That's it. So complexity became as just stacking more and more things stacked together, you know, like, yeah, like a juggling. Like juggling is very sophisticated. Like you can learn like many terminology. Like when you juggle with 1 apple, it's juggling. When it's 2 apple, it's schmoggling. When you juggle with 3 apple, it's schmoggling, you know. And you keep like searching for theories, but what the point? Just practice juggle with the apples. This is what you need. So practice to implement perspective and drawing, because no matter how long you learn perspective, you will be beginner with implementing it if you didn't practice it. So you will always need to go through this stage of how to use perspective to actually make pictures. So here's Yeah, all this like secrets. It's kind of like irony of our life, right, and our world, human, human world. I don't know. It's how all secrets and most like core issues is just about very basic things. So like most students' problem, like most, and I keep it. I see it all the time, again and again, again and again. Main problem is just they can't listen. It's just can't listen. You just say like 1, 2, 3, and then they say, yeah, I understand everything you say, everything clear as day. And then you look what they do, and they do like 1, 4. And it's like, what the hell is this 4? I was telling you 1, 2, 3. Where you find this 4? Like, I've seen you. You kind of mean this, or you say this. Like, no, bro. Literally, like, you understand my words, right? I say 1, 2, 3. This what you do. Did you hear me? Like 1, 2, 3. That's it. Oh, okay. And then like 1, 3, 2. So why you make 1, 3, 2? So am I? You say, yeah, you make 1, 3, 2. Like, did you remember I tell you 1, 2, 3? Ah, really? You tell 1, 2, 3? And Jesus Christ! Like, what kind of people have this? Like, it's like, if like your mind is this working table, and there's some crazy monkey in your brain, and it's just like jumping around and like messing it constantly, because I don't see any reason like why people have so much trouble to listen, like for very simple things. Just and I mean, it's like it's so standard thing, and this also kind of like a skill which requires some training, and this kind of skill and your own problem which you need to be aware of first. You need to be aware of, you need to realize you have problem with this, and then you will fix it, and it will solve so many your problems. Just notice in yourself like how many times you don't actually listen what people telling you. People telling you like in your face, telling you directly, like clearly, simple words, but instead of hear what they say, you immediately imagine something kind of, and this your imagination, like your like super smart ideas, they immediately kind of start to blocking what people telling you. It's like you start talk with yourself while people talking with you. You already kind of like evaluating their words. You already like change their words like for better idea or something like that, and it's like very, very, it's a huge problem, because like yeah, I mean, especially as like teenagers, kind of, what is the issue of teenage, kind of this period, let's say. It's when children like have this feeling like they're finally they're adult, and they're same like anybody else adult, so they feel like they have all knowledge of the world, like they know everything, like all this like 50-year-olds, 40-year-old people, like what they can tell me, like I know already what is life, right? And it's absolutely logical, because if you know already everything, Okay, show it. Show it. Like, show how, like, make something kind of, right? Like, show your knowledge with your work. So, to learn, you need to kind of accept ideas that you don't know much. Maybe you don't know anything. It should be fine to think about this. You will not like evaporate. Nobody will like clean their shoes of you and kind of like spit in your face, you know. No, it's absolutely okay to be beginner. It's absolutely okay to have no idea and say like, I really don't know anything, tell me. And you listen every freaking word. Like say, so you listen every word they say and then you learn. That's it. This is what I did, you know. It's not like something like I you know, like kind of like, oh, I'm so entitled and now like I feel I'm in position, so everybody should just like shut up and listen me and just do everything I say. Oh, it's just like when you don't know what to do and you ask somebody what to do, then you should really listen what they tell you without creating your opinion about this, because you really don't have any ground, any reference in your head to have any opinion about this, because just a second ago you was in a position when you don't know anything and then suddenly you have opinion. Really? So I mean I just kind of describing this mechanic behind like why people just can't hear, right? Why people can listen. I think this is a reason. This is what is distracting. This kind of desire to be experience and in control. It's like I just can't accept idea like I'm really don't understand, and they like suddenly they start to kind of like they ask you advice and suddenly it's became like kind of like threat for their self-esteem, and they start to kind of thinking about how to reinforce their self-respect, like find something like opinion and idea they might have about what you are talking to them. When it's very easy, it's just like, yeah, I don't know, I listening and I'm making notes. And then, yeah, because I really interested in your professional opinion, let's say, right? I will try it out first. And this will be my first experience. It's just try and see how it works. If it not works for me, I will see like why. Maybe I made it wrong, maybe I hear it wrong, or maybe it's really something wrong with advice, you know. But you need to hear it first. Well, I think like if anybody has this kind of experience when they have like apprentice or when they need to teach like new workers, they understand what I'm talking about. So there are some people who just like, okay, tell me what to do. They're like, and they repeat what you say. They just do what you tell them to do. That's it. Very simple, and you don't need to be genius. But technically, it's making you genius compared to all other people who can't listen, who can't take advice, you know. But it's so basic. So sometimes I think, you know, maybe it's kind of issue which don't need explanation. It's like if you see people this type, it's just say, okay, it's kind of can't be fixed, and you just it's like, yeah, I think it's my teacher. He would say they call it unteachable, unteachable students who never take advice, who never listen, always kind of distorting teacher words. There's some birds. Oh, yeah, my bird look like a pterodactyl. Okay. I've kind of like in a perfect situation, of course, is like when you have generational kind of expertise. For example, like my grandmother, my mother, all life they work as teacher, and if they tell me like, okay, it's family tradition and you must be teacher, it will make a lot of sense. But you see, it's also because contemporary world have so much problem with conservatism and traditional culture. People like forget about this. It's like very essential kind of simple idea, because if my parents like expert in something, like children always inherit certain traits. So like my mother played piano, I have pianist hands, you know, like kind of like I have long fingers, so I can like play all do re mi fa sol la si kind of with the left and right hand, you know. So my parents work as teacher, and I have this like tendency, and I like to teach. You know, I like to learn. I like to teach, and I discovered that just how to say. Well, I've been discovering it intuitively. You know, it's just like wait a second. So it's kind of like me, third generation teacher practically. You know. So, and I think it's absolutely based and should be first of all considered this way, right? If your parents already specialize in something, like I don't know, your parents military, makes sense for you to be military too, because you will have certain kind of hardwire, your brain hardwire certain way. You have some like physique you inherit from your parents. Because I totally feel it. I feel it. I have some like teacher brains, let's say. Because when I was teacher, I seen like different people who teach, and also I was, you know, it's kind of was interesting to see difference. And some people they absolutely not fit. Some people just can't be teacher. And some people they're like born teachers, but in a different way. So I think like people like with different temperament, but they teach differently from me, but they also like very good teachers. So if you choose like your profession, I think it makes sense also to look your family, like what your parents did, or even grandparents. Sometimes like it might be some hints. No, I was in a childhood, I was in the music school playing piano, but my teacher was crazy. She's like really weird, like hysterical woman. No, I also understand I was like, you know, typical hyperactive boy, kind of. So it must be hard to teach me, like when I was this young, like always, you know, moving and stuff. But still kind of normal. I wasn't like psychopath children, you know. And she was like really like hysterical. It's like like take like, you know, like take your fingers and like pushing keyboards, you know. It's like what the hell is this woman like? Well, I didn't think this way when I was children. I just like didn't like her, you know, and I tried to skip class every time. But I think if it was better teacher, maybe I spend more time play piano. And this music school also we did like singing, like a choral singing, and it was solfeggio, like music theory. This was very cool. I was like, whoa, you know, solfeggio is like kind of like mathematics. They have like formula for like music composition formulas. So cool. I forget all of this now. I only can play like dun 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 dun. But yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, like talking about talent, right? Talent is always something you inherit from your parents. It's something like on a biology level. And like It might be directly from your mother or father or both, from them both. Or I think sometimes it's also can be grandparents or grandparents. I don't know, just somehow it's just something came from past. So this kind of what is a region of any talent. So when you look your relatives, your parents, it kind of can show you which profession have potential to you. If you are like from some kind of how's it called, bad family, like I don't know, maybe it's like family where everybody like alcoholics and addicts, it's harder. Yeah, like you don't have like any example or any information, then you need to become kind of this person, right? Like you'll be like how do they call it? So your goal then, yeah, like if you don't have such examples of in your family, like some experts, professional, or like I don't know, any decent example, your goal then became it's to start this, right? So then you kind of start in this family line of like high ground for next generations. So they will say like, oh, so you achieve this thing, you became like master artist or master civil engineer, or you know, like high rank or war hero or what, some kind of, you achieve something in your life, and you became this like new high ground for further generations in your family. So they can say like, oh, we want to follow kind of your direction, or they will just have some good reputation from you. So you're given this like you know, like fame kind of for your children and grandchildren. So yeah, it's kind of important, more like family related. And then yeah, also like if you don't have example in your own family, you can look more like start to look at your people as your family, kind of. This thing is also nice kind of idea of find your own ground, right? You can find like something, what is your people as a more big community, kind of what they're good at, and what kind of tendencies you recognize in yourself, so you can go this path too. like this. Some philosophizing here. Так, so they all have swimming pools. Yeah, why people like living near such clean water? Why they have swimming pool? It's like for small children, or what's the point? Or it's just some kind of like necessary attribute? Ah, okay, maybe it's like a private water. It's like ocean, maybe some kind of like a public transportation, and the swimming pool is like your private vehicle, like your personal car. So you kind of own piece of water and you feel like, okay, this is my water. Das ist my water. Так, so some electric poles. Yeah, it's also interesting. Sometimes people like don't know, I don't see them, so they like kind of look at me in the camera, talking to me like if we're like talking face to face. When in reality it's you can see me, I don't see you. I don't see you. But you can join my Discord and start a video chat. So they have this like different chats. You can start audio chat or video chat and like show yourself if you want. Just, you know, for better human connection. Так, so this is some kind of like grocery store. Like a storage. Yeah, also I was playing guitar. Like acoustic guitar. just like a hobby. I'm still thinking about like buying electric guitar and to play some guitar riffs, you know. But then I watching like Daniel Warren Johnson like playing guitars, like okay, he's like playing from childhood, and I just don't have so much time to play so good, like even like decent, to play decent on the guitar. So instead I have like some box and stuff and kettlebells. So it's my hobby now. So I don't sit too much, I just stand up and punch some. Box and back. Throw kettlebells. Very fun. Так, anyways. Hello to be you. No, I don't know German. I just say, das ist, what they say? I don't know, just like pretending it was German. Yeah, some days you have good to draw. Yeah, absolutely. You know, this is just like imagine any profession, any I don't know, like any specialty you do, right? Like any job, anything you take seriously. Like if it's not just like a hobby or leisure, it means you need to do it regularly. It means you need to catch deadlines. You need to be disciplined sometimes. So you can't only draw when you have good mood. And more than that, when you draw like professionally, when you draw every day, like you know, like 5 day a week, 10 hours, or 6 day week, you should do it no matter how you feel. So unless if it's like really like unbearable and you're in some kind of very very horrible shape, right? But yeah, it's totally usual when you might you might even have good mood for drawing once in a month, No. Also, they say, like with the food, you with the food. Anyway, like often, because you kind of like became obliged to do it, so now you do it because you need to make money with it, and because if you will draw less time or if you will put less effort, you will improve too slow. You will create too little. You like your outcome will be too small, right? So you need to kind of sometimes push yourself to make better outcome, to make produce more, you know. So you can't be too emotional about your work. And sometimes like maybe even like maybe even like it's became like a general feeling when you don't want do anything. You just like wake up like, oh man, I need to draw again. And like sometimes like you're like hallucinating. It's like, why am I doing, like I'm losing my mind? Why I keep drawing? Like what is this? It's like it's so weird, it's so crazy. Like you making marks on a paper. It's so strange, kind of, you know. You brain can wander, you can have so many different conditions, but once you start drawing, you like, you know, is like you find yourself, right? So there is you as a social creature, like social animal, political animal, right? So you're living like life of society, kind of, right? Like you care about money, you care about food, everything. And then is you as artist, and you exist as artist when you draw, kind of, right? So once you start to drawing, is like you find again yourself, and this might be like really like almost like everyday thing. So it's also, it's kind of like a relationship too, you know. Like people have this like called honeymoon stage, or has like chocolate and flower stage, you know, like when like, oh, I meet this girl, it's like, whoa, I have this like storm of emotions, like whoa, like you think about her, like look at her, and you're just like shaking all this time. But then in future, your relationship with this girl will be like more like normalized, more balanced. So still like you might feel like emotion, but it will be more just like kind of attraction and comfort. You just feel like comfortable, you feel good, but you don't feel exciting like this anymore, you know. And if it's like so your communication kind of with within a relationship became not much about this kind of like searching for strong emotions, but more about kind of like a rational relationship. So you already know you have this like foundation which is important for you, and then you make sure it's organized properly. So same kind of withdrawing, like every time I've been in my life when I stop drawing, my life kind of turned into nightmare. Kind of feels so bad, like no sense, like I don't see any reason, kind of like you know, like life became gray, like you don't see any point of life, like why if anything don't make any sense. And then when I return to drawing, it's like, oh yeah, it's like, you know, you connected to this universe, kind of, you know. It's not just things start to make sense. It's like you feel like you're connected to this like wisdom or like endless meaning, like which is uncomprehendable kind of. It's so meaningful. It's human brain like can't even comprehend how deep it is, you know. But then after a couple months it doesn't feel so strong anymore, and again it feels like kind of default kind of background feeling, you know. And sometimes you just have glimpse, whatever. So need to treat it, yeah, some kind of like it's like a job plus worship. It's like together worship and job. Worship means it's like you really like in service to a certain tradition. You not only trying to be professional and make money, but you also doing this because it's some kind of culture and tradition which you need to you need to be good enough for this, you know. So it's like you need to kind of like some people in religion, right? So you need to make certain rituals, you need to treat it with respect. So this kind of like what is about. First of all, it's not like all this like how you feel, like it's a very tiny element, it's not important, it's secondary. More important is like once you recognize it's your thing, kind of, right? Now it's more about what you do for this, how you treat it, how you care of it, right? So I don't know, hope it explains something. Так, so now we have it's kind of like low ground perspective grid here. Like I say, it's here. Так, let me show you. So here we have this car. Okay, so and the horizon line is kind of on the top of this wheel. So what it's telling us that this is the ground on the bottom of the wheel, and between this bottom of the wheel and horizon line it's camera height or observer height. Okay, so when you have object in a picture and you see horizon line kind of intersect with this object, it gives you like clear understanding of height of the camera, because this horizon line is also eye level, right? Eye level. So it's kind of like almost like a ground, because very close to ground. Camera very low level here. Так, so let's see. So this will be Z again. So how we draw Z? One axis go here, horizon line, we draw in between. Say like this. Then you mirror it. Where's my blue pen? And then we'll, so roof kind of showing us Z and X, so X kind of going here. And Y, yeah, here is like slight Y-axis convergence, so it's like 3-point perspective, but it's so little, so you can ignore it, you can make it just parallel. And this actually is your creative decision. You can choose make it convergent, you can choose make it just vertical, but I think it's like, because it's 3D, right? So yeah, in 3D, like we can notice all this slight change of direction, but when it's so minor change, when this convergence so minor, you might think like, do I need even to show it in my drawing? Maybe it will look even better if I show without a Y conversion. Because so I think here is not needed in this picture. So Y. Like horizon line. Huh. Hello, Redeg Lobo. Thank you. Cool. Так. So these are Z and X. BZ should be stronger. Yeah, let's make it stronger. Okay, and let's make Y conversion. Так, so like this. Z axis. X axis again. X go here, horizon line go here. X, X, X. Так, окей. we have this car. So also, you know, on this stage, it's kind of very interesting moment here. Like this process, when we start drawing like objects, you always drawing it in a composition. So it means like you always drawing it considering like 2D shapes. You just can't avoid it. It always includes this two-dimensional composition, right? And it's like became like very complex and might be like stressful to draw, because you need to match all these proportions while making silhouettes looks good, while making shapes interesting, and also like, yeah, kind of maybe some like portrait similarity you want to show, like when you draw people. And at beginning it's like so extremely stressful kind of and hard to do, but then you know how you, what you learn with practice. With practice you learn that I don't know, it's like you learn to accept imperfection and a proximity of this stage. So it's like, instead of trying to make everything like super perfect from a first line, like instead of trying to like catch every proportions immediately, like, oh, I already catch all proportions correct, right? Instead of this, you just kind of like walking through wrong proportions till the moment you finally make these proportions correct, or like good enough. Yeah, good enough will be more good, more proper. So of course you can like train yourself, like it's again, it's like different styles, different artist approaches. Somebody like to have like super clean and catch all these shapes immediately, but many artists, very professional, high level, they just leave it this way forever. So they just have this like very messy first lines, very messy like draft, and then it helps them to sculpt the refined final image. So it's kind of like, instead of well, I don't know, like it's really just like a different approach, different flavors, different like sensation of a process, and both is legit. And also, yeah, also is this kind of case when sometimes you do it better, sometimes you do it worse. It's depend on like subject, Like if you're more familiar, then you will be more precise, you will be more fluent with this subject. If it's new subject, you will be like less confident. So I think it's just when you let it be, especially at beginning stages, it helps a lot because you need experience of making finished work. You don't need to believe kind of like you, if you can't perform like gracefully and like show like fantastic fluency and confidence in every stage, super accuracy and stuff, then you're not a good artist, you know. It's just like too much perfectionism which make you kind of binds you, you know, and eventually make you like avoid drawing. This kind of became foundation for procrastination, because like too many requirements, and your requirements must help you achieve your result, not to like scare you away from drawing, you know. Так, let's put this guy here. Because there is magic eraser. Yeah, I'm kind of like interested in what will be with GTA 6. More just like phenomenon, because it's always been like very big phenomenon, some kind of like reflection of culture. So if like GTA 5 kind of as a main background theme is like a crisis in the cinematography, kind of like postmodernism, when archetypes being like, yeah, it's like we like deconstructed all archetypes, you know. So they kind of exploring this culture vacuum. And this GTA 6 is must be, I kind of predict, so it will be like super different, and something about this TikTok culture, contemporary TikTok culture, you know. Так, now here with Ford. I'm not Rockstar, so I can write this. And it's already look like this in the videos, and all this like crazy depraved characters, all this like videos as they do on the camera. Yeah, so if like GTA 5, it was basically, it's like collage of homages. So it was just like talking about this crisis in the culture and mainstream culture and cinematography, right? And doing this through recreating all kind of Hollywood tropes. So there are all this like mafia, like a soap opera, office, family drama. It's like basically like whole storyline is just juggling with all these tropes. It's kind of like a very very clever work for sure. And this one is kind of somehow probably might be homage to TikTok, homage to short videos, to reels. Like if events in a game, it's this viral videos from Instagram, you know. So all kind of like storyline is this chain of viral videos. So this kind of seems to be like matter substance of GTA 6. So we will see soon. and I'm just curious, like, will they manage to make it same quality, kind of same level? Because kind of like gameplay element of GTA, I think is not so important. It's kind of boring part. Real interesting is just phenomenon itself. Kind of like it's definitely like very high level artwork. And yeah, so it's kind of like always there was like, why is high level? It's not because kind of like, oh, it's talking about morality or something. No, it's because like just impact. They masters of making strong impact, like trend makers. Just imagine you making something nobody did before, and then everybody want copy from you. This is big. It's great stuff. Great work. So we'll see if they can do it this time. Which really kind of, I'm not sure. High possibility that there might be some kind of core issue, because they all key these directors, they quit. So I don't know, we'll see. Так. interesting. No, you see, I kind of like, I'm not so attached to video games to even like see something like a legacy of Vice City. You know, I kind of like, I I guess I understand what you mean, but it's not my thing. It's like for me, it was just like start from Vice City, because like yeah, GTA is like very interesting phenomenon. It's like culture phenomenon, but also it's something about computer technology and video game technology, because I've been like, you know, I born when it was no computers at all, and then we have like first like very very slow, very simple computer. It was like 286, I forget how it's called, like Intel or something. So we have this like floppy disks, you know, this like very big flat disks. And so in there was like GTA 1, like London, then it was GTA 2, then was like first three-dimensional GTA. It was like, what the hell? So, and it was funny, like one day it's hit me, so like since like first GTA in 3D, every time I feel like it's best, and it's like computer games can't be more realistic. It's like, no way, this must be like best level computer games can ever achieve. You know, all this like open world, some kind of like mechanics, graphics is like, wow, all this looks so cool. And then Vice City, then it was this San Andreas, then GTA 4, and every time I was like this, like, no way, it's a peak. And then I realized, okay, these guys, they're just will do it forever. So as long GTA will keep making next chapters, for me at least, I will always have this effect, like, no way, it's beyond my expectations, and it's look like best and peak work. Just, you know, like as visual, as technological, like, you know, like it was like this Red Dead Redemption 2. When I see this, I was like, no way, it looked like interactive oil painting. So you can just like look around and you see all these fantastic colors. You can paint it in the canvas. It's look like perfect reference. Quality is amazing, you know. And then all game makers start to kind of match on this level, and we have like right now has this you know, every game with the open world and the nature, they kind of try to reach same quality like Red Dead Redemption 2. And in certain aspects they make it better, like how they call it, Kingdom Come Deliverance. Yeah, some nature there, some elements even looks better because, you know, next gen. But somehow it's even still this Red Dead Redemption 2, like environment design, it's just peak. I don't know how they did this. It's incredible. No, and I read some interview with these guys who made this. So they say even before they start to make this kind of gameplay mechanics, when you know this like shooting and stuff. First they did is create this virtual world with all like system like rivers, clouds, snow, all these animals, all this like was first, and then they start to put characters there in this nature. So this designers say because they choose this approach, it was only way to make world feel like a real world, you know, like alive. Because really, like you look at, there's like snakes in the grass, rabbits, birds, crows, eagles. It looked like you kind of you enter in reality, kind of with real life in it, you know. And if they start with characters and story, and then they work on environment, it will more feel like a background, just some kind of like supportive environment. So it's kind of crazy, these guys, like really big developers. So you know, when say like contemporary art, and you know, I've seen a lot of contemporary art in all these galleries, museums and stuff. For me it's nothing contemporary, it's just degenerated art. But if say contemporary, which means like it's being like artists who using like top technology, right? Like most like recent technologies and tools, then I will say computer games is contemporary art. And specifically it's like real artists, these guys who did Red Dead Redemption and Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's real art. Because you creating human experience with a narrative which leave you certain kind of make trail in your heart, kind of, you know. So it became really like kind of like when you read a good book, story in a book is not just some kind of attraction, you know. It's not just like you're spending good time. No, in good book, it's when it's so strong and profound, so when you finish it, it feels like you just have real life experience. It's without like have physical experience, like only like in your mind, but outcome is you have outcome of actual life experience. Because you know, imagine like what is your life experience? It means you did something, you go somewhere, you kind of like manipulate with objects, all right, and then you have your feedback and your reflection of this experience, right? So this kind of like eventually like it's all about what you live in your head about this life experience. And books, they can kind of give you this reflection of your life experience without having it physically. And of course it doesn't mean it's equal to actual life experience. It's not equal to it, but it's very close, and it's have this like a lot of real elements, a lot of real aspects of actual life experience. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you dive in a certain point of view. You can like observe certain things from different angle, kind of reframing. And often, yeah, it's not just like reframing, but you like really discover something you wasn't aware before. So this kind of real art, what it's doing to you. So, and again, like I'm talking about this, like I don't say like people should play computer games. It's just like by fact, it's like, yeah, it's I'm sure it's like actual real contemporary art. Like this definition fits most to computer games. Some of them. And it's also interesting how perception might be very different. Like I'm sure like my perception of computer games is different from people who born in 2000 or 2010. It's crazy. Like children born in the time when people telling them computer game it's a sport, you know. So it's like when you from childhood you hear this, you really might believe, you know, like it's some kind of sport, computer games. Okay. And it's feel like and just imagine like you children play computer games before they read books. No way. So it's kind of sad. I don't know how you read books after this, how it will feels. Or maybe, you know, maybe it will be okay, it's just take some time to adjust. Yeah, I think it's just like if you read like 100 page, your brain like adjust, fine tune, and now you can understand kind of how books works. It's like book engine. can't see ink at all. Так. How to change image? Better. Так. Okay, so now we have. So this is interesting. I also have video about this. So I have two tutorials, which is very different from this type of live stream. These tutorials where I'm very concentrated, explain perspective and composition. So in one tutorial I'm talking about how to draw, like how composition of sequential art works, like when you have sequence of pictures. And other tutorial I talking about a type of frames, so it's like, you know, different size of frames, so like close up or full view. So here we have full view. So just imagine why it's important to know. It's a process happen in your mind when you think how to visualize your idea. So here kind of you think about, okay, our main hero looking down from roof, and there is a guy, his friend, he just arrived with his this car. He just walk out from a door, kind of standing, right? So you showing this character first time. We see this guy first time. We never see him before. This type of full shot, it's a special shot to show characters, like as a design, like a character design. So we have this guy, like what is his design? It's like black glass, like he has this kind of bald, he have mustache and stuff, right? So we showing full image, full character design, like presenting character to viewer. And he have like this thing here, watch on here, let's see, and the shorts, right, and the sleepers. So this full shot will show character as a silhouette with all its features. So we can say he's a little fat, he has this type of clothing, he's like has this kind of elements. Like this full shot. Then you see like next shots, like here also we have full shot of main character. So here he was like just far away, so just to like to connect, like a small anchor. But here first time we see him, and again you see it full shot, so we can see full figure in the frame. Then it's not full shot anymore, because we just been introduced to this character, right? Now we don't need to have full shot. Now it's about showing him making gestures. like hand gestures. He's like, what, where's my money, you know? So and for this kind of mimic body gestures, it's this frame when we cut body maybe like knee level or waist level. Okay, and so you see it all the time. You see all the time. So every time they make a decision of frame size, it's based on what you tell to viewers, what kind of situation you show. It's not just like, oh, I watch like different anime and I feel it should be this frame. No, you like first you introduce character, it's a full shot, and then it's not necessary to show full shot. You will show like now what they show this guy making gestures, right? So it's like this type of shot. Next, when it will show like his emotions on the face, we'll use this close up, and then again move back to gestures. And then if we have second character approach and we want to show is like second guy here approach to this guy, also kind of sleepers. So because we have now a second character we need to introduce, and we again going back to full shot. So now we can show two characters next to each other. We show them like again like full characters, like character design, kind of character design sheet. And also we see comparison. We see, okay, this guy he's much more muscular than this guy, and this kind of you implant this knowledge to viewer head. Okay, so this kind of like how it tells story. See, так, so and then okay, you have this shot, full shot. Okay, and character. Let's try together. Trick is it can be like we can have like horizon line here, right? So it can be like 1 point perspective, or like here it can be a down shot, so y-axis going down, z-axis going here, so we're kind of looking down at him, right? So same type of shot but different perspective. Then it can be, you can put camera down here on the ground, so we have this perspective. Or no, this kind of like distortion here, but okay, let's say he may fly, he can fly in this, like he's kind of floating in the air, and background is kind of city behind him. We see like in isometry. Say like this. So we see rooftops. Maybe he's like on a cloud. And here's some other people on the ground. So same, can be exactly same composition with him like in the center or in the side, same size of shot. So we see like full body and just like some this empty space between here, right? And totally different perspective, totally different like kind of location or camera lens. Так, so, and here we have this CCTV kind of like security camera down shot. So this Y looking down, then the conversion like this to Z. So you see it's like, it's kind of if we draw in 2x like this. The Z going there and X like this. Так. So he kind of walking here. And again, kind of using same principle. Так, maybe just making him smaller. Yeah, because need more space for car. Make him a little smaller. So cargo. What's this? So same, we have this perspective. So what I'm do is, again, you see this principle. Car have same y-axis. It's a snap to same y-axis. But this x and this z of car, this different direction, but similar degree of conversion. So you see, if this, you see degree of conversion of this grid, right? And I kind of make same degree of conversion of this car here. Так. Still kind of he's too big. My old guy look like Miyazaki. Hayao Miyazaki. Так. Some stuff. Hmm. Yeah, it's refillable. It's very simple. You can buy in any art shop. They sell it empty. So I just I kind of like use a very little ink, melt with water, mix with water, so can make different darkness ink. So just more ink will be more dark, less ink it's more gray. Ernest Tube. Yeah, I think perspective more important. Yeah, anatomy is more like, you know, it's kind of like, it's great to know all this, right? So if I say it's not important, no, it's better if you know anatomy, right? So you need to know anatomy, you need all of this. What sequence? Up to you. But if you ask me, yeah, I think most beneficial at first will be perspective. And only if you treat it properly. Doesn't mean like you should spend like 1 year to learn like all perspective, all like, you know, like to be perfect with perspective. No, it's mean you just spend 1 week and you will know like perspective basics. So better, you know, better answer for any questions like this. Better answer always I give a link to my video. You must watch this video. Wait a second, I will give you a link. Because, you know, some answers, some questions have some issues in them. So like question might be wrong. So, and the real answer to your question will be not direct. Okay. So no direct answer will be, first you need to learn from your favorite artists, even if you don't understand any principles. And then while you learn from your favorite artist, you improving your perspective like as a side work, you know. So watch this video, I give you a link. Yeah, everybody can watch this. Go and watch this video. #1 must watch. So yeah, I think for today we'll stop here. Like I can't endure sit anymore, need to walk a little bit. So thank you very much, see you later. Push your like, share and everything.